Hi, welcome to the series of Reading the Bible Daily in a Year with
Mari.
and Les. Today we're going to start at Genesis 31, verse 43, and we're going to go all the way to chapter 34, and we're going to stop at verse 31. Mari nos dejó hablando de Laban, fue y alcanzó a Jacob, porque se le fue con las hijas y los nietos. So Laban, everything you have because of me. Okay? I just want you to know that. But hay que hacer un trato, porque esto de estar uno para el otro, no. Jacob agrees, because he's tired too. He's trying to go home. He's like, sir, whatever. You want to take the credit, that's fine. So Jacob agrees, and they make a stone pillar. They both give it their own name to represent their culture. They make an agreement that neither of them will cross the boundary line to hurt each other. Laban also says, you have to promise me that you're going to take care of my daughters and you're not going to make other wives. So to complete the agreement, Jacob offers a sacrifice to God, and then they end with just having a meal together. At dawn, Laban se despide de sus hijas, les da su beso y cada uno por su lado. For good. So now we're going to move on to Genesis 32. So Jacob is on his way. He's on his way with his family, but he gets stopped by some angels. So he names that place the camp of God. Well, Jacob is on his way to see his brother Esau, but then se acuerda, and he remembers lo que dice su hermano Esau. He said, I'm going to unalive you after my dad dies. Jacob is a little scared. So then Jacob decides to send a messenger ahead with some donkeys and some cattle and to tell Esau that he's on his way. Basically, he tells the messenger, dile que no vengo a robar, que no vengo a hacer nada, que I'm coming on good terms. I actually got things to give you. Esau regresa el mensaje y le dice, okay, Jacob, that's fine, but I'm actually coming to you, and I'm coming to you with 400 men. Jacob is scared that he's like, oh, I viene mi brother. So he divides his group into two. Just in case Esau decides to kill one of them, they still got the other. Jacob begins to pray. He prays to God. But his prayer this time is a little different from the first time. You remember the first time it was like, God, if you do this, God, if you do that, then I'm going to do this. Well, now his prayer is full of humility and faithfulness. Jacob has grown. His faith has grown while he's been away. So then he prepares a big gift for Esau. Le pone goats, sheep, camels, donkeys, like big gift for his brother. Y manda esos regalos uno por uno con sus servants. If Esau asks you, what is all of this? Tell him, your servant sends them to you. Oh, now I want to be a servant, right? Now, for real, y'all, Jacob has repented. Like, he actually means all of this. So, yeah, Jacob mandó a todos por delante y él se quedó atrás solito. And the Bible tells us that he begins to wrestle with a man all night. He's wrestling with God. He says, I saw God face to face. Jacob has been wrestling his whole life with his brother Esau, with Laban, with God's will, but now he's actually wrestling with God. Like, for real, de veras. Después dice that with one touch, God dislocated this man's hip. God's power is that big. He could have stopped the fight right there and then. It did not have to go all night. God let Jacob wrestle. Lo dejó luchar. Jacob says to this man, I am not going to let you go until you bless me. See, up until now, Jacob has been taking things by deception. But now Jacob is saying, God, if you don't do this, I'm finished, Lord. Y pues Dios ve la transformación de Jacob. Dios le dice, a ver, ¿cómo te llamas? Jacob says, no, pues me llamo Jacob. Jacob means deceiver. God tells him, you will no longer go by this name. Your name is now Israel, because you have struggled with God and with mankind, and you have overcame. Luchado. So Jacob names this place Paniel, and it means face of God. The Bible tells us that Jacob continues with the limp. I guess it's a reminder that Jacob is always going to be dependent on the Lord. Okay, now let's move on to Genesis 33. So Jacob ve a su hermano Esau con los 400 men coming his way. And he's like, oh, goodness. So he starts separating and putting his people in order from servants all the way back to Rachel and his kids. And he steps forward by himself, falls down to the ground 7 times. Pues ahí viene Esau. Esau actually comes up to him running and hugs him and kisses him and cries. Y'all, Esau has chosen a different path. He's no longer upset. God has changed his heart. Entonces Jacob le empieza a presentar a su familia, a Esau, a sus esposas, a sus hijos. And then Esau says, oye, todo este ganado, what's it for? Jacob's like, it's for you. I brought it for you. And Esau's like, no, I already have enough. This is yours. And Jacob's like, no, brother, the Lord has blessed me. The Lord continues to provide. This is for you. Please take it. Y pues Esau takes it. Esau invita a Jacob a viajar juntos, a Seir. Jacob's like, no, todo bien, tú vete. Yo me tengo que esperar, tengo que ir con calma porque traigo a toda mi familia. Y ya, se van. Al fin, Jacob termina en Canaan. And there he buys a piece of land for 100 pieces of silver, and he calls that place El Elohoi Israel. Okay, so let's move on to Genesis 34. So here we start off with Dinah, la hija de Leah, and she goes out into the land because ella quiere visitar a las mujeres from the land. But while she's out, this man, Shechem, the son of Hamor, he sees her, and y'all, he rapes her. Her brothers and Jacob are out in the fields, and they come back and they find out what happened to their sister. And they are so angry. I mean, angry because this man done defiled their sister. Shechem goes to his dad and says, hey, Dad, I really want this girl. Make it happen. El papá va con el hijo and they go visit Jacob and his brothers. And they're like, son, I have an idea. I think we should mix cultures. You can marry into our families. We can marry your women. You can make a living for yourself here in this land. We can just mix. But the brothers are like, absolutely not. So Shechem really wants Diana. Then he talks to her brothers and says, I'll pay whatever you need me to pay. I'll do whatever you need me to do, but let me have your sister. And they're like, yeah, you're not even one of us. Like, how are we going to give her over to you? But if you're for real, you're going to have to convert yourself and become one of us. You're going to have to get circumcised, and you're going to have to circumcise every male in this land if you want my sister. And Shechem is like, that's it. Okay, no big deal. Also, I need to note that the Bible kind of mentions that Shechem es como un hijo de papi, is he's kind of like a big deal where he gets what he wants. So Shechem and Hamor, el papá, van at the gate of the city y le empiezan a decir a los hombres ahí, these men right here, they're friendly. We have made this agreement where we got to get circumcised and then y'all are going to be able to marry their people. They're going to be able to marry our people. Cool. All right. Now Shechem and all the men in the land get circumcised. Now 3 days later, they're all in pain. Dos de los hermanos de Dinah, Simon y Levi, they take out their swords and they attack all the men in that land and they kill them. They take their possessions, they take their wives, they just go through that city. Jacob finds out what happened y les dice, hey, ustedes dos, vengan para acá. ¿Qué hicieron? You guys have brought trouble to me. Once these people find out who it was, they're going to come and they're going to attack me. And the brothers, look, Dad, he did this to my sister. How are we going to allow him to just get away with that? He treated her like a prostitute. We did what we did and we'd probably do it again. Well, that's how it ends. This is where we stop. So you guys are going to have to come back tomorrow. What are we going to be going over tomorrow, Mari?
Tomorrow we're going to be in Genesis chapter 35 all the way to chapter 37 verse 24. That's where we stop.
Guys, so come back tomorrow for more Biblia and vibes, and don't forget to bring your cafecito and
Your tecito.
bye.